What's up, guys? Welcome back. Naruto versus Sasuke. Haven't drawn these two boys in a while. So this is a double portrait, basically. And it's from that last fight where they're kind of like staring at each other, or sort of serious. Landscape page. Use a pencil and eraser for these. Hit pause if I go too fast. We're going to divide the page in half with black spiky lightning, basically. This is like a ninja voltage image. So they divide it with this black sort of stuff, right? So we'll just go for that. And this will be all color black. If you want, well, you could do a different color, I guess, if you wanted as well. So I'm just going to like draw this sort of zigzag line and some spikes sticking out the side and all that, right? And we'll do the other side. It's a cool illustration, so I found it and I said, I'm going to draw that. And here we are. Like that, basically. And you color it all in black. So, or any other color. And it kind of glows. Blue on this side, purple this side. Okay, so Naruto's over here. Sasuke's over here. We'll start with Naruto. Portrait, right? Close up on his face. Eyes are, like, say the center line halfway of my page, right? Is about here. And the head will be, like, in here. So this is, like, the halfway. And the eyes are just above, right? Just above my halfway. We start with his right eye. And we'll go diagonal. Typical sort of Naruto style eyes. Diagonal like that. And then a line comes across the top. Curving. Naruto sort of big eyes. And then there's this spike that comes down the back. And then the bottom eyelid line just sort of comes across here. Now the top eyelid is usually darker than the bottom, right? So you want to thicken it up a little bit. It's just the style they like to draw it in. And then his big blue eyes, circle coming down from the top eyelid. Like so. And then his pupil, just a black circle somewhere in the middle. About that size. Okay. So his eyelid line goes underneath his eyebrow, his eyebrow goes underneath his headband, right? So it kind of like ticks up this way and kind of stops there. And then we have like, maybe like a bit of an eyelid line or something just on top. And then the bit of eyebrow that you can color is just there. Maybe another frown line like that. So we do this over this side. So measure his eye. That will fit in between his two eyes, right? So in Naruto, they're sort of in proportion, right? So his whole eye fits in between, and that's sort of where the next one will start. You have a bit of wiggle room for this. It doesn't have to be exact, but you can definitely fit an eye in there, okay? And then you want to go across the top again. And then it sort of spikes down. And then the bottom eyelid line goes across that way. Bum, bum, bum. Right, and then you want to thicken this up. The top eyelid, I mean. So always a darker, heavier line than the rest. And then his big blue eyes. And the pupil just in the middle. Eyebrow again, up underneath the headband, just up that way. Add a space that you can add some yellow color. And then frowning line there. And then again, sort of eyelid, just coming across the top. So his nose, just a line sort of going down that way. And then we drop down, we add some nostrils. And then his mouth, he's got that serious downturned Naruto mouth. Kind of start, where did we start? Underneath sort of the inside of his eye, roughly. Like that, right? Little dimples just in the corner. They kind of just do an extra little dot, just sort of there. And then his bottom lip line, like so. So his chin, square. And then what we're going to do is, you could give him a jawbone if you wanted. They don't really. It kind of just gradually curves up to his sideburns, right? So his sideburns are just these little sort of V's here. Like sometimes there's like an extra hairline, right? They're just beside his eyes, right? So you want to start to gradually go with this up this way, and they just gradually curve it all the way up to there. And we'll go down this way. Okay. And then the headband will just join the sideburns, slightly curved, coming across the eyebrows. So then he has those cheek lines. And then his ears coming out from the headband line down there. And inside the ears, you do a letter J. It always reminds me of a letter J anyway. And sometimes they like to add a bit more detail to that, but it's optional, of course. He's got a bit of like dirt and stuff on his face, scratches and things, because he's been fighting with Sasuke. So now the headband comes up here a little bit, and we can just see sort of head spikes, hair spikes, should I say, not head spikes, sticking out. Typical sort of Naruto spikes of hair. Right, so he's kind of like three sort of fringe spikes coming across. And then we have the headband curving itself across like so. We got the metal plate inside. It's just this sort of curvy kind of rectangle. It's like a rectangle, and it just has curved corners and sides. And a curved top as well. And then it has those studs there, and then the leaf symbol, right? So you could do this one line. We're close enough up that I could probably make it look like it's scratched in, right? So let's start here. We'll go with the spiral first, and a tail, right? Now you could just do the little spike there and you're done. But if you want to be like super accurate, we could go square end back in, and you're just going to try and double up this line. I might use a sort of a more wasted marker for this. We'll go a bit slower. Curves like that. And then you have the beak that sticks out. And then it goes around again. So if you have a thin pencil, you know, this is easier, obviously. A thin fine liner. Right. And then a little sort of triangle in here. And then there's like scratches and dirt and stuff. And maybe like edge line there. So that's his headband. Right, so the rest of his hair. Spiking all the way around to the other side. Right, kind of curvy sort of hair spikes. Might go off the page there a little bit. Keep going. Like so. If you have more room, you could finish those at the top. Right, and then he's got his neck muscles coming down this way. And then we have some hair that sticks out from behind his neck. And there's neck muscle here. And then his collar. So he's got this bumpy Naruto collar, right? And that just goes that way. And then the other side bumps out this way. And then we'll go down like that. So the inside of that then, so we got like the inside of the collar. And then it curves down here. And the other side goes that way. Then we have his gray shirt curving around here. It's got an edge line. And then collarbones there. And we'll go with those crisscross mesh lines on the t-shirt. Not sure if it's chainmail or what, if it's supposed to be chainmail anyway. Right. Now a bit more detail on his clothing. So we got like a bit of a zipper thing going on here, just on the edge. And like here as well. Just an edge line going down there. And then this collar seems to bump around, and then we have like light sort of lines like there. And then here as well. And then his shoulder just goes off my page that way. And this way. Goes behind this black lightning. And Sasuke starts here then. And then we have some of it, more of his headband sort of things blowing off in the wind back this way. Like that. And I think that is pretty much Naruto. Okay, Sasuke, right. Over here on the left. And let me see his eyes. Okay, thinner eyes. Pretty much in line with Naruto's though. So, and his hair kind of comes across them a bit, right? So again, we're kind of like in line with Naruto's eyes on that line, just above my halfway point. And his eyes are kind of thinner though. So we'll do a little shallow sort of curve, right? Like that. And then it seems to spike back down that way. And it has an extra little eyelid line or something sticking off there. Okay, and then the bottom eyelid line just comes across that way. It's real thin now. And of course he has the Renegan in there. So Renegan is difficult, so we'll just put the pupil, right? And then we do the concentric circles around. We'll do our best to make them even anyway. So one there. One there. And it just curves around then, kind of his eye that way. And then we have two tomei, two little commas there, and one looks like here. Bum, bum, bum. Seems to have some like eye lines just around his eye there. So then we have an eyelid line above. And his eyebrow. Just going that way. Very pointy, angular eyebrows. And a bit thicker at the front. And it's just black, so we can just thicken it up a bit. Do. Okay. More or less like that, right? And you measure his eye, fits in between both of his eyes. So the next one, the Sharingan eye, starts here. And again, sort of curves across, real shallow curve, a bit different to Naruto's. Goes underneath his hair, but then spikes back. And then the bottom eyelid. So it curves along there. And you want to thicken up the top eyelid a little bit. Sharingan eye. So we'll go circle, half circle maybe. It's like this, say this line of the Renegan. It's kind of a similar size. And then the pupil. Again, just sort of underneath his eyelid there. And we can just see some Sharingan symbols there. There is normally a light little line coming around, connecting those. And then he has some texture textured eyelid lines. There. And then eyelid just going over. And then his eyebrow. Goes underneath hair mostly. But we'll draw it in anyway. It's easier to kind of just draw it in and then erase it afterwards. Right, so then his nose coming down here, and then nostrils, like so. I think I messed up that pupil a little bit, just have to fix it, sorry. Okay, mouth, very serious mouth, kind of like Naruto again. Not as sort of downturned, a bit flatter maybe. And his bottom lip. Don't like that, people. Do not like it. Maybe that's okay. It's like if your pupils aren't the same size, sometimes it can like look strange. I think that's the best I can do with that eye. Renegan always messes me up. So, chin. He's a pointier chin than Naruto in this picture anyway. Different artists draw them different, obviously. And then his jaw on this side goes all the way up towards his ear. And it's a gradual curve. Like in terms of proportion, right? So like eyes, say like the top eyelid to the nostril or the pupil to the nostril is about the same as nostril to chin. So here to here is about the same as here to here, middle of his eye. And that are about the same. And then nostril to the bottom lip, about the same as bottom lip to chin. That's kind of the proportion. I forgot to say that with Naruto. And then we're going to go gradually curving up the side of his face. The jaw normally is like underneath the corner of the eye. Okay, and then going this way. Now you could do the same on this side, but he has hair that comes down over this. And then we have like lots of dirt and scratches and things on his face. All right, so Sasuke's a bit harder than Naruto in this one anyway. It's been a while since I drew him. So his hair, right? Spiking down there. And then this one. These big sort of Uchiha hair spikes. Right, and then the next one like comes down. The wind is kind of blowing it this way. And then you have another one here. Coming across his hair. Coming across his eye, sorry, the hair. Like so, and then this spikes up this way then. And we can just see some of his ear underneath this one. And we keep going up around his head, two of the spikes here. And again, some of these will go off the top of my page. If you have more room, feel free to finish them off. Just up at the top. And then we go down the back. And then there's one sticking out here. And this goes a bit higher that way. Yeah, that looks like Sasuke. I was worried about the eye. That's not too bad. Right. Neck. Here. Can't see neck here because that's covering it, so we can just see like the neck muscles that way. And then his collar sort of just like goes down here. And his collar comes out from around his head and then goes down. And he has a sort of a zipper situation going on here. We're drawing over the hair, obviously. And then like his shoulder going off that way. So that means this comes out the other side, down there. Collar blowing off this way. And then we got some hair spikes sticking down from behind his head. Collarbones and chest muscle in the middle. And maybe we should see a little bit of his shoulder there. And can we see any more hair or anything? No, that is it. Peak anime, this fight. It was great. Hope it was helpful. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.